We're saved? Damn, everyone's so excited. Should we read them off? All right, we got another round of changes, and I think the context of these changes is really important. And the reason why the context of these changes is really important is I feel like there will probably not be many more changes before the end of the season, to be honest with you. I feel like this is probably where the meta is going to lie. So I haven't looked at these yet. Let's take a look at exactly what we got going on here with these upcoming PvP changes. And these will be going in, I think, next reset, right? Yeah, so next reset, these will go in. Okay, we continue to monitor the performance of classes across various content, including raids, Mythic Plus, dungeons, and PvP. Below, you'll find a number of changes meant to balance classes against each other in healing, tanking, and damage. Unholy. Raise Dead, damage increased by 10%. Army of the Dead, damage increased by 10%. Scourge Strike, damage increased by 20%. Clawing Shadows, damage increased by 20%. Death Coil, damage increased by 10%. This is not affected by PvP combat. Soul Reaper, damage increased by 15%. Gargoyle cast attack speed increased to 2.5, up from 2, and Gargoyle Strike damage increased by 20%. So some pretty significant damage buffs, I would say, for Unholy Death Knights. Unholy Death Knights relatively weak in PvP. So yeah, I wonder how these changes will really play out. If that damage is going to be enough, like I'm curious for sure. We have Balanced Druids. Star Surge damage increased by 10%. Does not affect PvP combat, so that is not going in for PvP. But Denizen of the Dream damage increased by 20%. That will be in PvP. Guardian, okay, Bark Skin and some healing stuff, great. I don't think that matters too much. Evoker, Preservation, all healing increased by 3%. Living Flame healing increased by 15%. And Resonating Spheres now applies Echo to the first 5 allies it passes through. So some significant buffs there for Preservation Evoker. Well, not... some minor buffs, nothing too crazy. All right, let's see what else. Beast Mastery Hunter, all damage dealt to you and your pets reduced by 3%, so a little bit of damage nurse there for Beast Mastery. Survival Hunter, this change was intended to go through going live in prior tuning changes, but data error made it. We were correcting that. The damage dealt by Mongoose Boot in PvP will be unchanged. Okay, so they reduced the damage of Mongoose Bite, but it is not nerfed in PvP. Protection, Hand of the Protector now increases Word of Glory healing by 100% when cast on allies. Oh my god, so that is absolutely devastated. Didn't really see that many prop paladins, and I kind of wonder if they'll mix prop paladins in with the rest of the tanks in solo shuffle now because of this. I would be curious. Anyways, Holy Nova damage increased by 30%. All right, lots of Disc Priest changes. Powered Shield now costs 2.4% of base mana. Okay, down from 3.1. Powered Shield now absorbs 25% more. Oh my goodness. Renew now costs 2.4, down from 2.7. Fixed a bug causing Renew to not have its healing increased by 25%. For Discipline as intended. Oh my god. And Powered Radiance now cost... these are big buffs. So they made Powered Shield more efficient and buffed it. They made Renew more efficient and buffed it. And they buffed Powered Radiance. So those are huge buffs for Discipline Priests. Huge. And then they increased the damage for Holy Priest. So Holy Fire damage increased. Smite damage increased. And they nerfed Resto Shaman healing. I saw Sturge talking about this. He was kind of upset. He's like, Shaman heal for the first time ever. I wish they would have targeted their mana or something like that, you know? But yeah, Restoration Shaman, they are going to be getting a little bit of a healing reduction. Druid, Cyclone's mana cost has been decreased by 40%. Okay. So Cyclone is now going to be a bigger part of Rest of Druid's kit, potentially. Mistweaver Monks, we are specifically targeting Blackout Kick's AoE damage potential as we feel Mistweaver's healing becomes overwhelming when it can cleave. We also feel Mistweaver's mana regeneration has been too powerful, so we're adjusting Spirit of the Crane. Okay, so that means Rising Sun Kick no longer deals increased damage in PvP. It was buffed by 12%. Blackout Kick copies the teaching of the monastery. No longer deal increased damage in PvP. Okay, so Blackout Kick got nerfed, Rising Sun Kick got nerfed, and Spirit of the Crane regens less mana. So Mistweaver Monks are not going to be as mana efficient. Those are some pretty significant changes. Windwalker Monk fixed an issue that caused the copied Blackout Kicks from teaching of the monastery to deal 15% increased damage in PvP instead of the intended 30. Okay, so a little bit of a buff to the cleave of Blackout Kick. That's kind of minor, but slight damage increase there for a Windwalker. Nothing crazy. Paladin, Word of Glory healing increased by 15%. Holy Shock healing increased by 30%, was 15. So Word of Glory got a big buff, and Holy Shock got a big buff. We're targeting buffs of Holy Paladin's Word of Glory and Holy Shock healing to increase their instant cast healing. Boom. Those are some pretty significant changes. I know Born Good is super happy about those. Retribution, developers notes, Retribution Paladins has remained more powerful than we would like in PvP. With this pass, we are targeting its burst damage, allied support, and personal survivability. Jeez. So Avenging Wrath now increases damage and healing by 10%. Avenging Wrath Might now increases crit by 10%. So Wings, instead of being 15% damage, 15% crit, it's 10 and 10. I think there's a few different ways they could have nerfed Wings, because I think it was a bit too crazy the way it was with how much of an uptime it had. I kind of wonder if this was a better way to do it, where Wings still has a really significant uptime, like where, you know, it's up for 24 seconds every minute. If that would have been better, or keep it strong like this, and then just nerf the duration or something like that. But obviously they wanted to go with this. So Avenging Wrath still has a short cooldown. It'll be up a lot of the game, but it's just not as powerful. Divine Protection now reduces damage taken by 10%, was 20. This has got to be, is there like a talent that makes it 30? Because as far as I know, Divine Protection was 30%. Okay, so now instead of it being 20 buff to 30, it's 10 buff to 20. So it's 20% damage reduction every minute you can use in stuns. I still feel like Divine Protection is going to be really strong. It's a really solid defense, but yeah. Okay, obviously they feel like Rets have too much survivability. Light Celerity now increases the healing of Flash of Light by 20% in PvP, was 50%. Okay. Oh, wow. So their Flash of Light healing is nerfed pretty significantly as well. These are definitely significant nerfs. 65 plates now grants 50% less stamina and avoidance in PvP combat. Yeah, Rets just had more stamina than everyone else, which is part of the reason why they were so tanky. So that got nerfed. Blessing of Sacrifice now transfers 20% of damage taken, was 30%. So this means they can't keep their team up as easily. This means their burst is a little bit nerfed, and this means their survivability is a little bit nerfed. Question is, do you think Rets are going to be gutted? Do you think they'll still be good? Do you still think they'll be strong in certain comps? Like, do you think like Ret Warrior is still going to be strong? Do you think Demo Ret's still going to be strong? Like, is Ret still going to have its place in the meta? I would say yes, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. Demo. Developer notes, we're toning down the value of Immutable Hatred as it's providing a significant boost to single target damage in PvP while being difficult to avoid. Immutable Hatred now increases your primary Felguard's Legion strike damage by 60%. When it damages one target in PvP combat, down from 120. So Demo Warlock's getting a little bit of pet nerfs. Retribution got the fattest nerfs. Some solid buffs to Holy Paladin. Some big nerfs to Mistweaver Monk. A little bit of a buff to Druid. Little nerf to Shaman. So I'd say like healer balance kind of like evened out a little bit. Would you guys say? Like I think at this point, like as of today, Mistweavers and Shaman are absolutely the best. So Shaman are going down, Mistweavers are going down, Holy Paladins being brought up, Holy Priest being brought up with a little bit more damage, Discipline Priest being brought up with a little bit more healing, and Druids being brought up, the fact that they can Cyclone a little bit more. BM got nerfed, slight change for survival, Prop Paladins got nerfed, Preservation got buffed as well, so that's another healer. I wonder if all the healers are going to be like relatively even now. And the thing too, about Mistweaver Monks that I want to say is I think casted Mistweaver Monk is actually really strong. I've been playing it quite a bit. I think it's really like it's being overshadowed by the Punch Monk, but I do think Caster Monk is also really, really good. Balanced Druid is getting basically no changes, and Unholy Death Knight is being changed. So I think this is it's interesting changes for sure, and I think likely we won't see too many more changes before the end of the season.